I'm Barbara Walters. Tonight we discuss calculus, the scariest subject in high school. Should it be seen as such a frightening subject though? What are its benefits? Why is it important? I get the pleasure of sitting down with Morgan Geis, a senior from May Creek High School, which has the most successful calculus program in the nation. She tells us her story and how she came to know calculus as something much more than scary numbers and intimidating equations. Stay tuned. So Morgan, you were a junior last year, and had heard some scary, frightening things about calculus, but you took the plunge. Why is that?
I decided to take calculus because I wanted to have the experience for college, so I wouldn't be that girl in college when I walk into college in Calc 1 and have no idea what is going on. And I heard some scary thoughts and some feelings about calculus when I was a junior, but I decided to take calculus because I knew that I would need it in college, so it would benefit me in the long run.
Right. So let's kind of walk through the experience. So it's your first day in calculus. What's going through your mind? What are you feeling? How was that?
I walked in and I sat down, and she started in with reviewing pre-calculus material, which I was not very good at, to be honest. And then we started in on calculus material, and I felt like the dumbest person in the room. And it was scary, and you don't know what you really got yourself into.
So wow, that just sounds awful. And you say you were, oh, why did I do this? But obviously, at some point, things changed for you. When did things change for you, and when did you feel like things were getting better and really improving for you?
It was about 2 months into calculus. We had gotten through our first big unit, which was limits, and then we started on derivatives, which makes no sense to anyone who hasn't done calculus. But once we got into derivatives, it just started clicking, and it made sense. So after that, I realized that, okay, I can do this. This isn't as hard as I thought it was, and it made sense.
So obviously calculus, it's not something that's just, it's not so easy that you don't have to do any work. I had a nephew who took calculus and who would say, oh, Aunt Barbara, I have so much work to do, it's so hard. And I mean, do you feel like the workload is so overwhelming and that you can't handle it? Or, what are your feelings towards the workload?
The workload really isn't overwhelming if you don't make it overwhelming. There is a lot of work, but there's a reason for every problem that you do. So it makes sense why you're given as many problems as you are, but majority of them aren't too long of problems. They're really short, so it doesn't take a ton of time for each problem.
Right, okay. So now it's almost June, you're about to graduate. What are your overall feelings towards calculus?
I actually love calculus. I enjoy it. I have gotten to the point where I know what I'm doing, and I actually enjoy what I do in calculus. It makes sense. It's not like it's overwhelming. So it's not that hard of a class if you apply yourself. And that's the most important thing to remember, is to apply yourself.
Hashtag
AP Calculus for life.